What is going on, everybody? I'm, of course, Blind Tasty, living that legally blind life on the mean streets of Oshawa, rad and plaid, with the body like a dad. And welcome to episode 3, if you will, of the Blind Tasty vlog. And today we're going to talk about something that is actually really hard for me to talk about, and that was the early diagnosis, the early stages of Stargardt's disease, my low vision transformation. And it was really scary. So I was working at the time, I was 21. I was working at the time at a place doing their shipping and receiving, and there was work orders that I had to look over to make sure that the right things were going out and that checking them off and making sure that all the pieces went to where they're supposed to go. And I found myself to get really, really close to the pages, like this close. And I still do it to this day, but then it was really scary. I didn't really know what was going on, but I kind of ignored it as a 21-year-old would do, thinking he's invincible. And so it got worse from there. So I didn't really have the blind spot then, but maybe I just didn't notice that I had the blind spot, to be honest. But I was driving at the time down the road, and I still remember this to this day. If you're from Oshawa, I was at Ritson and Rossland, and I was coming to the intersection, and I couldn't tell what the lights were. Couldn't tell if it was red, green. So I made a right onto Ritson, and actually it was close to my house back then, so I was able to get myself back home. But that was probably one of the last times I can remember driving. I thought to myself, you know, if I can't see the stoplights, I'm gonna hit someone, I'm gonna hurt someone, and all because of what? My foolish pride. So that was it for driving then. So I had to go to an optometrist, because what else do you do when your eyes aren't working well? And the optometrist, he didn't even know what was going on. He took a look at me and said, you know what? We're gonna have to send you to a specialist, because I've never seen something like this before. I was doing the pie chart, or the letter chart, or whatever they call it, and it wasn't working at all. I couldn't see any of the letters, no matter how much he magnified the whole situation. And so I went to the specialist, and that was in Scarborough, and it was really scary. So the first appointment I had with the specialist, I went there, and they do this thing where you sit in this chair, they put drops in your eyes, and then they get your face real close to this spraying thing, and it sprays you with air right in your eye, and you shoot back. And if you don't stay there, then the technician gets really mad at you, because they don't want to do it a billion times. And I don't like things near my eyes anyway, so I had to do it a bunch of times. I'm sure that person just absolutely hated their day because of it, but sorry. And so then I got to look over, and the specialist thought, okay, well, you should get an angiogram. And an angiogram is where they put some radioactive dye into your bloodstream, and then they use this machine that starts taking pictures. And you can see as the radioactive dye goes through it, like the inside of your eye at this angiogram just started brightening up, and you can see all the inside parts. And the angiogram technician there, he kind of thought, oh, well, there's something going on with your macula, and showed me. And I actually asked him, can I keep these pictures? And he, of course, said no, which, you know, I always ask things like that. You never know what you're gonna get. If you don't ask questions, you won't get answers. So after that appointment, I went to the University of Waterloo, and they have an eye specialist there. And I got my retinas checked, and this appointment was probably the worst of them all. Honestly, this was just, I get shivers thinking about this whole process. So what they do is they put this contact in your eye, and it holds your eye open so you can't close it. And then they put a pirate patch on the other one. Then they take your head and they stick it inside this box, and they blast your eye with light for like 2 minutes straight. Oh my, it was not a fun time, I will tell you that much. But I was pretty brave about all these things. I was scared to death about what the result was going to be, but I just had to get through it, and I did. So they do that on both of your eyes. They switch over, they put the contact in the other one, put the pirate patch on the other eye, and I actually asked for the pirate patch after the whole thing was done, and the doctor and her assistant there thought that was hilarious and thought I had a good attitude, so that was fun. I mean, like, sometimes you just really got to look for the bright side in the darkest times. And then that wasn't dark at all, because I had light shining into my eye for 2 minutes straight, both eyes. So yeah, I just tried to find a fun, like, happiness to certain situations, because what else can you do? I've always been one to be kind of sarcastic and joke around, and hey, I wanted a pirate patch. When do you ever get the opportunity to get a free pirate patch? So that was that. And so after all these tests, a lot of these tests to get to the specialists, to get the appointments, took about a year in total before diagnosis. And so once I had all these tests done, I went back to my doctor. He said, I think that it's Stargardt's disease, and because we've ruled out everything else. My retina was fine, but my macula was very messed up, and I assume it is to this day. And I might not even be explaining all this well. For a long time, I just kind of didn't think about it at all. I ignored it for a very long time. I didn't want to think about it, didn't want to talk about it, didn't want to do anything with this whole situation. So I'm really glad that I can share it now, because it helps me a lot to share this story with all of you. And if you guys find this interesting, then please share, subscribe, like, do all those things, show everyone. Like, I just want to share my story with everybody, and I hope that you enjoy it. And that's a wrap for episode 3. So I hope that you guys take care of each other out there. You follow Blind Tasty's 4 rules, which is stay positive, meet new people, make new conversations, and take care of each other. Those really pretty easy rules to follow, but I guarantee you go with them, you'll be a better person. And aren't we all just trying to be better people? So until next time, I will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.